Okay, check out the id quad construction. It shows up all the time. Quick refresher. Id just means that thing. Quad, of course, is a relative pronoun that talks about it. So you'll commonly have an id quad, and I think in this sentence Caesar does id quad constituerant, that thing which they had decided they did. So the main clause is they did that thing, and then you have this whole relative clause that talks about that thing. What thing? Well, the thing which they had decided to do before. Okay, 201 introduces a really fun verb, arbitror, arbitrari, arbitratus sum. Notice we've got the OR and then the I here. That tells us it's deponent. It looks passive and is translated active. And this is a very common Caesar word. You should definitely mark it. It means to think. And it usually introduces an indirect statement, because indirect statements are kissing verbs, knowing, sensing, or saying. And to think is the same thing as to know. So you think, and it goes with an accusative infinitive construction. So I think that the students know their indirect statements. Okay, in 203, we have a future active participle. Oh, wait, what's a future active participle look like? Let's see. Okay, obviously a future active participle comes from a verb. Here's our favorite verb of loving. So the future active participle, we would take the present stem, which is, well, actually, we'll take the fourth principal part minus the US, amat, A-M-A-T, and then we add a U-R, which helps us to recognize it, and then the us, endings, us, So this word says amaturus, which means about to love. So you'll recognize a future active participle because it's got a UR plus a us, ending. Okay, you might need a quick refresher on the various degrees of adjectives. English and Latin have 3 different degrees. They have the positive, otherwise known as regular adjectives, like paratus, which means prepared, paratus. And then they have comparative adjectives, which is slightly more than paratus. That would be parat, eor. And then they have the last degree, which is superlative. And then for Latin, that would be paratissimus. So you recognize regular adjectives because they're boring. Comparative adjectives, the form, or the more prepared form, has an IOR plus third declension endings. And then the superlatives always have a double something. This is most prepared. So we have prepared, more prepared, most prepared. Okay, we've got this word eubeo, which shows up in 232, and that means to order. Now, usually we've seen when you order somebody with the verb imperat, that takes an indirect command, an ut clause with the subjunctive. But eubeo is another way of ordering people to do things, and that doesn't take an ut clause. Instead, it takes an accusative infinitive construction. So eubeo plus accusative infinitive. So you could say eubeo discipulos dormire. So we've got our main verb of ordering. I order the students in the accusative to sleep. So eubeo, you order the accusative to do the infinitive. That's just another way of telling somebody to do. Okay, the other funky thing is this word quisque. It looks like a pronoun quis with the word que, so you might say and sneaky. Instead, it is the whole thing is a pronoun, so it declines. This is a nominative. Nominative, the genitive is cuyusque. Don't worry, you won't have to do it on a chart test, but you will need to recognize it. Nominative, genitive, dative, cuique, accusative, quemque, and the ablative is quoque. So This basically means each person, each one. And it looks like a different word, so watch out. This does show up in our chapter somewhere. So, quamque, each one. Cuique, to each one. Cuyusque, of each one. Quisque, the nominative there.